ആരോഗ്യശീലങ്ങൾക്കൊപ്പം നിർത്തേണ്ട ഒരു കാര്യമാണ് കായികമായിട്ടുള്ള മികവെന്ന് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു. കായികമായ മികവെന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ വ്യായാമമാണ് അല്ലേ?
അതെ, വ്യായാമത്തിൻ്റെ കാര്യം പറയുമ്പോൾ യുഗങ്ങൾ നിലനിന്ന ഒരു വ്യായാമ മുറയാണ് യോഗ എന്നുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ യോഗയെക്കുറിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കാനായിട്ടാണ് ഇനി അടുത്ത നമ്മുടെ
അതെ, അപ്പോൾ യോഗയെക്കുറിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കാൻ ഇന്നൊപ്പം ചേർന്നത് തിരുവനന്തപുരം ശിവാനന്ദ ധന്വന്തരി ആശ്രമം ഡയറക്ടർ ശ്രീ നടരാജാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിനെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു.
On behalf of Sivagiri Mutt, welcoming Sri NATARAJ to the 88th Global Online Sivagiri THEERTHADANAM.
ശാരീരിക ആരോഗ്യം പോലെ തന്നെ പരമപ്രധാനമാണ് ഓരോ വ്യക്തിയുടെയും മാനസിക ആരോഗ്യവും. ശരീരത്തിന്റെയും മനസ്സിന്റെയും സന്തുലിതാവസ്ഥ നിലനിർത്തുന്നതിൽ യോഗയും ധ്യാനവും വഹിക്കുന്ന പങ്ക് നിസ്തുലമാണ്. യോഗ, ആയുർവേദം, ധ്യാനം എന്നിവയുടെ സമന്വയത്തിലൂടെ രോഗശാന്തിയും ആത്മീയ ഐക്യവും പ്രദാനം ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രസിദ്ധമായ അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര യോഗാ കേന്ദ്രം തിരുവനന്തപുരം നെയ്യാർ ഡാം ശിവാനന്ദ ധന്വന്തരി ആശ്രമം. നമുക്ക് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യാം ഈ ആശ്രമത്തിലെ പ്രധാന ആചാര്യനെ, ശിവാനന്ദ ധന്വന്തരി ആശ്രമം ഡയറക്ടർ ശ്രീ നടരാജ് ജിയെ 88ാമത് ആഗോള തീർത്ഥാടനത്തിലെ ആരോഗ്യ സമ്മേളന വേദിയിലേക്ക് അത്യാദരപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യാം.
Om Namah Shivaya. Good day. Namaste. My name is Nataraj. I'm the director of the Shivananda Yoga Vedanta Dhanvantari Ashram in Neyyar Dam, Kerala, South India. I've been asked to give you a presentation on the topic of yoga and health, and this is part of our activity here at the ashram, that we are here to promote health. And from yoga point of view, you have to consider what is health. So from yoga point of view, we consider it a state of well-being. Now, how do we define that well-being? So yoga is a very holistic science. It looks at the human individual on many levels. 3 basic levels, or what we call the 3 bodies, the 3 sharira, tri-sharira. Starting physical body, then there is the subtle or sukshma sharira, and then of course the causal body, or what we call the karana sharira. So that is sthula sharira, sukshma sharira and karana sharira. We are living our life on these 3 levels continuously. We are actually experiencing or living on these levels at the same time in harmony and synchronicity. So we have to achieve health on all these 3 levels from the yoga point of view. Of course, yoga is not just for health. Yoga is ultimately for moksha or liberation. And but before we can get to that point, we do need to optimize our health. And the more healthy we are, the easier is this process called self-realization or liberation. And this includes the physical, mental and spiritual level of life. From our point of view, physical is important starting point, because this physical body is our tool. Our Guru, Swami Vishnu Devananda, said our first responsibility actually is to take care of our physical health, because our body is basically our vehicle. And you can say our life is like a journey, and our journey is a very long journey. One lifetime is just one portion of our journey, and what we call death is just a temporary change of vehicle from one physical body into another body, from one vehicle into another vehicle. And as we know, any vehicle will not last forever. If you buy a car, you can expect the car to run for maybe 10, 15, 20. If you really take good care of the car, maybe it will last even 30, 40, 50 years. But sooner or later that car will also perish. The parts will break down. So likewise, our body will not last forever. But still, even if we're on a spiritual journey, our first priority is still to maximize this vehicle, to get the most mileage out of our life. As you know, when you're not well, life is very difficult. It's very difficult to do anything. Illness takes all our time, energy, and even our money. So yoga gives us many things techniques, practices, by simply doing these things on a regular basis, not devoting a lot of time, maybe up to an hour a day, we can maintain a very good standard of health throughout our life. So this is our first priority, is actually to maximize our physical well-being so that we can move through life smoothly without any problems. How do we define the health? Actually, you can say you are healthy if you're not aware of your body. Normally, we only become aware of our body when there is some dis-ease. Actually, even the word itself, dis-ease, tells you exactly the meaning. Dis-ease, no longer at ease. So that means something is disturbing us. Something is taking our attention. If we are really healthy, we should not really be aware of our body. We should move through life very smoothly without any disturbances or distractions. So only when we are unhealthy do we become aware of the body. So if you're really healthy, you are moving through life without any disturbances, without any obstructions or distractions from your physical body. And there are many aspects we should consider when it comes to our physical health. One of the most important is our diet. So our physical body is called our Annamaya Kosha, the food sheath. So actually a very important part of our health is our diet, that we should eat the right food. If we're not eating the right food, actually it's making it very difficult for our body to stay healthy. So in yoga we talk about sattvic yogic diet, basically vegetarian with milk and milk products, but avoiding meat and even certain vegetables like onions, garlic, very strong spices, even chilies, etc. These are going to be disturbing our mind. So to have a cool and calm mind and a healthy body, we should take a sattvic vegetarian diet, eating fruits, vegetables, dals, beans, etc. that are cooked fresh, eaten fresh, and not too much spiced. This is healthy for our body. And also not eating too much. Eating too much is very bad. So in yoga we say ideally you should eat only once or twice a day. So let's say a yogi eats once a day, a bogi eats twice a day, and a rogi eats 3 times a day. Rogi means you will get some diseases because you're taking too much food. Every time we eat food, actually we're putting more work on the body to take care. And if we take food that we don't need, that food actually becomes a waste product. And then the body has to try to manage all this extra food, either store it or get rid of it. So it's more work. So taking care to eat in a balanced way. Another important point for health is exercise. Exercise is good for our health. Why is exercise so good? Because the main effect of exercise is it increases our circulation. You know, we have something like 70 trillion cells in our body. 70 times 10 to the power of 14. 70 to the power of 14. So that is a huge amount of cells that need nutrition and oxygen, everything. And that depends on our circulation. So if our circulation is not working well, our cells will be suffering, and then ultimately our cells will get sick, and then we will develop some disease somewhere. It could be a degenerative disease like heart disease or arthritis, or it could even develop into some form of cancer. So to keep our body healthy, we need good circulation, and exercise increases our circulation. So regular daily exercise is very important for our health. Now when we do yoga asana, you might not think it is a very strong exercise, but actually even the yoga asana helps to improve our circulation. Normally when we exercise, our heart has to beat hard and fast. If you go running or walking or playing some sport, you'll notice your heart rate and your respiratory rate will increase, and that makes you tired. But when you do yoga asana, you don't get tired. Actually you get more relaxed. You feel more relaxed, more energized. But still your circulation is improving. How do you explain that? Well, according to physiology, the 3 main factors that improve our circulation. First one is our position. In yoga, we do some of our postures upside down. Shirsasana, Sarvangasana. When you're upside down, naturally your blood is moving from your legs and your body to your heart and increasing your circulation through your heart. So you get more blood going through your body and more oxygen. So very naturally you get increased circulation without stressing your heart. And many of the asanas we're also doing lying down or even sitting. So even when you're lying or sitting, your circulation is better than when you're standing up. It's more work for your blood to circulate when you stand up than when you lie down. That's why we need to lie down when you go to sleep at night. You cannot sleep standing up. You will not get proper rest because your circulation will not be moving. Your circulation is only running easily when you lie down. So that's another point. In the yoga we are positioned. And the second point is the asanas, even though we are not straining our muscles, we are stretching the muscles. This is like massaging the muscles, and by massaging the muscles we improve our circulation. We improve the blood flow through the veins, which comes to the heart. So altogether the heart and the circulation increases. And the third factor is our breathing also. Whenever we breathe, we are also bringing blood to our heart. When we inhale, we are actually pulling the blood and the air into our chest, and that improves the circulation of the body. So these three simple factors, the position of the body, the massaging effect on the muscles, and the breathing, these three factors improve our circulation without causing any stress or work on the heart and the lungs. So if we take care of these two things, our diet and our exercise, we've taken care of 90% of the issues for our body. The other 10% you could say comes from our mind, because our state of mind also affects our body. As you think, so you become. And there's a close connection, of course, between the mind and the body through the nervous system. So we call this psychosomatic disease. And the commonest cause of problems, mental problems, is stress. Every time we get stressed, certain changes happen in our body. So we have to be able to keep our mind cool and relaxed so that the body does not react. If we have too much stress in our mind, we will have physical problems. Commonly we have problems like high blood pressure, muscle tension and pain in the body, stiffness of the body, poor digestion. We're not able to digest our food properly. We maybe have too much gas or feeling bloated. Other common problems are balance of hormones. Our immunity can come down, so we are more likely to get infections and colds and other infections. So to avoid stress, it's very important. And we can manage that best through the mind. So now we're talking about our mental health. What is our mental health? So essentially, again, we can say the same thing, that we are mentally healthy if we do not notice the mind, if the mind does not disturb us. How often can we say that? How often can we say our mind is not disturbing us? Very often we are getting worries, we are getting anxiety, we're getting depression, we get fears, we get angry. These are all mental disturbances, and all of these will create some stress in our mind, and ultimately the stress goes into our body. So we have to learn how to control this mind and make the mind peaceful. Our Swamiji said, health is wealth, peace of mind is happiness, and yoga shows the way. So I mentioned our health, our physical health is a very precious asset, investment. If we have health, we should take care of it. And I mentioned through some simple practices of yoga asana, exercise and diet, we can maintain our health. The second point is peace of mind. Peace of mind is happiness. How do we get that peace of mind? So again, yoga comes to the rescue. So many techniques are given in the yoga system, how we can keep our mind calm and peaceful. Starting even with the physical exercises. Just doing yoga asana will make you more calm. Just eating sattvic vegetarian diet will also make you more calm, because the food we eat does affect our mind. If we eat very strong flavored foods with a lot of spices, we'll get rajasic. The mind will get stimulated, and we're more likely to get hyperactive and get angry or irritated more easily. If we take alcohol and meat, again the mind will get even more disturbed. Then yoga also prescribes various breathing exercises called pranayama. So by learning how to control your breathing and doing breathing exercises, you're able to calm down and focus your mind very quickly. Because in yoga we see there's a very close connection between our breathing and our mind. They are interrelated. As you think, so you breathe. If your mind is not calm, you'll see your breathing will be erratic and shallow. If you're very calm, your breathing will be very calm and regular. So what we do with pranayama is we learn how to control our breathing. Simple exercises like anuloma viloma, alternate nostril breathing. You just do this for 10 or 15 minutes and you'll feel a big difference in your mind. You'll feel very calm and focused and peaceful, and that feeling will stay with you the whole day. Just 15 minutes will change your whole day. So these are the good ways to start your day. Do some asana, do some pranayama, and then your whole day will be much more peaceful and balanced. From pranayama, we can go to meditation, dhyana. So we follow the yoga system of Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and he teaches the system for meditation called Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, ethical codes, niyama, observances, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. Pratyahara means controlling of your senses. So basically what's happening in your mind is only what you allow to come into your mind. Our mind is really a product of all our experiences. That's basically what our mind is. All our thoughts are based on our experiences. So if you can take care of your experiences, you can control your mind, control the gates. We have, well, 5 gates really: what we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we touch. So pratyahara means take care on what you look at, take care on what you read, what you eat, what you smell, what you taste, what you hear. Take care not to pollute your mind with negative messages or low energies. Always try to have a calm and peaceful environment. Try to have positive people around you. Try to be in nature. Nature is a wonderful thing. Nature naturally has a positive energy. Nature naturally makes us feel relaxed. So try to be more in nature, and this automatically will make your mind more peaceful and calm and comfortable. From pratyahara we go to dharana, concentration. Concentration is another skill we need to develop, is how to keep our mind focused. Our mind is very restless by nature. We say our mind is like a drunken monkey. He cannot sit still for 1 minute. Never mind 1 minute, 1 second. Our mind is always jumping from one thing to another. And this scattered thinking actually creates some negative feelings in our mind. We're more likely to get anxiety and worries in our mind when our mind is not focused. When our mind is focused, we feel more calm, we feel more positive, we feel more efficient. So we have to learn how to focus our mind, and that's basically the beginning of meditation. Meditation is not just for when you close your eyes and sit still. You try to keep your mind focused throughout the day. Whatever you're doing, you try to be fully focused on that thing only. And what you'll find is that your mind is more calm and peaceful when you're focused. And also you'll be much more effective. You'll be more efficient in whatever you do. But it doesn't come naturally, unfortunately. Our mind naturally is actually very jumpy. But again, if we follow those previous steps, the diet, the exercise, the pranayama, you'll find your mind will become more calm and more focused. And then ultimately, that concentration will lead to meditation. Meditation is when our mind is just staying still on one subject without any movement. and it is just focused on one thing, usually the thought of God or a mantra. And when we do this, we go into samadhi. Samadhi means this, we lose ourselves, we lose our own ego, we lose all our limitations, we become expanded consciousness, we feel part of the whole universe, we become one with the universe, and that is ultimately what we call samadhi. the goal of yoga. But before we can go there, we do need to master our mind. A mind that is negative or restless or depressed cannot come to samadhi. So it requires regular training and purification of the mind to come to that experience. So the more focused you are, the more peace of mind you have, the more happiness you will experience. And this is our mental health. Our mental health means our mind is not disturbing us with unnecessary thoughts, anxieties, depression, anger, fear, lust, greed. These are the things that disturb our mind. Now we come to spiritual health. What is spiritual health? So our spiritual life, we could say, is our karmic life. Karmic life means, what are we doing in life? Why are we doing it? How are we doing it? What is the purpose of our life? Do we know what we are living for? Do we have some inspiration in our life? Do we have a goal that we are trying to come to understand or realize? These are the spiritual questions. That life is not just a process of waking up, working, eating, drinking, sleeping, waking up, eating, drinking, sleeping, day after day, like a machine. The human life is a very precious life. It gives us the opportunity to go beyond our limitations, go beyond our borders, and know the essence of life, what we call the truth of life. And all the spiritual gurus tell us that's the real purpose of a life, is to know yourself, to know the truth, what we call self-realization. So until we come to know that truth, we will never really be at peace, because we don't know ourselves, we don't know really who am I. We are always associating with the things that we experience. Number one is our own thoughts and emotions. We are continuously thinking, I am what I think is what I am, what I feel is what I am. And because our mind is always changing, the mind is changing like the weather. One day it's sunny, next day it's raining. One day the mind is happy, the next day the mind is not happy. So we are never stable. We're never stable. One day we're happy, next day we're sad. One day we're peaceful, next day we are disturbed and agitated. There's no peace living in the mind. So the real peace will only come when we can know ourselves beyond the mind. What is my true nature? What is my unchanging aspect? And this is basically what we call our spiritual health. To be at peace. To be at peace despite your body, despite your mind. And this is the life of the great sages and gurus, the Sadgurus. For them, their life, their body, their mind was nothing important. It was just incidental. So that spiritual life is that life where we find total peace, where we're no more disturbed by our body and our mind. This is the life of those great gurus and Sadgurus who experienced enlightenment, self-realization. Through their tapas, through their yoga practice, they came to know themselves. Once they come to that realization, there is no more pain, there's no more suffering, there's no more fear, there's no more sadness, anger. All these experiences are in the life of duality. Once you come to know the non-duality, the Advaita state, then there is no more I. There's no more I and the world. I and the world is one and the same thing. There's no difference. So when there is no more I, there is no more stress. Any stress depends on the I. I means me and the world. So when I see the world as something different from me, there's always a possibility of some tension, some fear, some anger, some irritation, some expectations. When there is no separation, there is no more tension, there's no more fear, there's no more anger. Can the right hand be angry with the left hand? Can you blame your right hand if your right hand hurts your left hand? Of course not. You know your right hand and your left hand is all one the same body. So there's no chance you'll prefer your right hand to your left hand. So likewise, when you know there's no I, everything is you. You are everything. And that is the ultimate relaxation. That's the ultimate health. So when there's no I, then we come to a state of real health. In fact, the gurus would say, you only start to live when you know yourself, when you have self-realization. Until that point, we are just living in a dream. We are not in the reality. Just like when we are sleeping, we have a dream, and we have so many ideas and feelings and experiences in the dream. Sometimes good feelings, sometimes bad feelings, fear, and so on. And then we wake up, and then we realize, oh, nothing to worry about. That was just a dream. It was all make-believe. It was just imagination. So they say the same thing happens to us when we get self-realization. We realize our whole life has just been a dream. Nothing to worry about. Nothing happened, actually. So there is the final goal of yoga, that state of liberation, that state of self-enlightenment. And ultimately that is a place of perfect health, that spiritual health. Now that might seem something impossible for us. We'll think, how will I ever achieve self-realization? Actually, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you're going to achieve self-realization. That should not be our concern. Our concern should be whether we are on the right path. Are we on the path or are we not on the path? I would like to use an analogy. Imagine that you go for a walk one day in a jungle or in a forest, and you're by yourself and you're enjoying the walk, walking and walking through the trees, enjoying the fresh air and the animals and the birds. But then it starts to get late in the afternoon and the sun starts to come down, and then you also realize that actually you don't know where you are. You don't know where the path is. You're lost. Now what was previously very pleasant, you're starting to get a little bit worried. What's going to happen? How am I going to get out of here? I don't know this place. I don't know where to go. Nobody anywhere here. I don't see anything or anyone anywhere. So what shall I do? And then the sun goes down completely and it's dark. And you don't even want to walk now because you don't know where you're going. So you just sit still and you hear some sounds around you and animals moving around, and you're now starting to get quite disturbed and anxious and scared even. So imagine that feeling. You're lost in the dark in the big forest. But out of the darkness you see a light, and you see somebody walking with a light towards you. So now you are trying to feel very happy. My God, thank God somebody's coming. So the person comes, and it's a man, and a friendly man, and you explain, I'm lost, I don't know how to go back to my place. And the man says, no problem, I will help you. In fact, I have another torch. You can take this torch, and you see this path here. You just simply follow this path with your torch, and eventually you'll come back to your place, your car, where you left it. I guarantee you just follow this path and you'll get there. So how do you feel now? Are you still scared? Are you still worried? No, you'll feel much more positive now. Now someone has told you, this is the path, follow this path, and you'll get to your destination. You'll get to get out of this forest. You feel very encouraged now. Now you have a mission, you know what to do and you know how to do it. You have the light, you have the path, even if it's a small path, you can follow it. And now you're walking. Doesn't matter if you have to get there in 5 minutes or in 10 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours. Actually, it doesn't matter for you. You don't mind walking for 5 hours if you know you're going to reach your destination. So the same thing we should have when we're in life. Life is a big forest. We are moving through this life, just going from here to there. And sometimes we get lost. We don't know where we are, and we're not happy, and we don't know how to get out of it either. We don't know the purpose of it all. Who is that man who's walking with the light? That is a guru. That is a guru. So if we're lucky, we meet a guru who says, oh, I see your problem. You just have to follow this path, follow this practice. Just keep practicing like this. And I guarantee eventually you'll come out of this confusion, you'll come out of your suffering, you'll find the liberation. It doesn't matter, is it this life or next life? The main thing is that we know we're on the path. If you know you're on the path, you can be positive, you can always have faith, confidence, and keep walking, because you know eventually you'll get there. It doesn't matter. It's tomorrow, the day after, next year, next life, doesn't matter. You know you're on the right path. That's the most important thing. So we should all have this attitude when we practice yoga, when we do our spiritual practice and we follow a guru. We should all have this feeling in our heart, this positive feeling that this will bring me the ultimate freedom, this will bring me the ultimate happiness in my life. I should never give up, because it's promised by every guru that this will bring you your freedom, this will bring you your happiness. So we should always have that determination and faith and confidence and hope that we're going in the right direction and that we can face any situation in life with the Guru's grace and guidance. So with these words I am going to leave you here, and you're always welcome to come to our ashram. We are teaching yoga in all our ashrams and centers in India and internationally. So I will finish with a short prayer. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bola Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj ki Jai. Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj ki Jai. Om Tat Sat.